global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Finally, Wike have addressed the issue of reconciliation between himself and Fubara. It is best to hear from Wike's mouth. If you ask me personally, I think Fubara is just junketing up and down. The real matter is what Wike is discussing, and the fate of Fubara is actually within this revelation that Wike has given. And I'll tell you for free, Fubara is in for it, and it's going to be a showdown. Let's listen to him. My colleague is in the house. We'll come back for more analysis on this.
Unknown to me, gave himself to be the tool for those who couldn't fight me to fight me. You see, when people talk about resolution, sometimes when I go back, in my quiet moments, I play the video of the speeches of the governor. What he said, what he did to me. I would. Was it necessary? This was somebody who brought you, gave you food, gave you everything, did this for you. Then you became a tool for his enemies to fight him. You know, we're all human. Yeah. When people say there should be peace, nobody said there should be no peace. How do you feel? How do you feel? Take for example, how do you feel? You know what you pass through by sending your son to school. You know what you pass through to make it be a human being. All of a sudden, in the night, your son came with 2 people with gun to shoot you. Just tell me, is this something that will just go away like that from your mind? You made sure you gave your son good education. You made sure you provided food for him. You made sure he didn't lack. You are ready to sacrifice everything you had, and you made that sacrifice. In the night, they said the armed robbers. Who are the armed robbers? Your son is the one carrying gun. Your time is up. Somehow, God helped you. You didn't die. Now people come, carry your son. Come and beg you, you know, is your son. I agree. But
is it even held your leg?
It's not correct.
Okay.
There's never been a time.
But sorry, boss.
What is happening to anybody? You see, I have told people. He has a life. He said he was traveling. He traveled. I have not seen him since that day. So when people talk about it, I don't laugh. I say it is not to go on television to say, I don't know. Okay, will he make peace without the assembly members? Will he make peace without the leaders of the party? Will he make peace? You see, I try to be honest to people. I have said so. The mere fact that Mr. President said, look, make peace. It will be difficult for me to disobey Mr. President. But he should also know that it's not water that's flowing here. It's blood. Now, I gave the analysis here, which none of you tried to answer. These are people who vowed.
Is the atmosphere right now to lift the state of emergency?
I'm not the president who declares state of emergency.
Yeah, but it's your state. Do you think there's enough peace now?
If Mr. President had called me that time, I wouldn't have agreed for state of emergency. So he knows. He doesn't want to lift. He has everything on his I don't know.
But politically, is it right?
I have never supported. So the issue of because it's right or not, it does not arise.
But
what I said was that his declaration of emergency was to save the governor, because the governor was almost impeached. Yeah. That was not our own hope. Yeah. We wanted actually people who accept society. Yeah. But president is wisdom. And that's why I said the governor said it, that his people should not be talking too much. That the president said in. I did not say it. He said it.
All right, welcome back. You heard directly from Wike, my colleague. What's your take? Look at the emotions that ran through Wike's veins. The betrayal. He gave an instance of even his son that he sacrificed for, coming behind, bringing in enemies, outside enemies within him to take him out, only for him to manage to survive. If it is you, will you accept? Yes, it's your son. Will you accept it? Now, looking at that scenario and the reality also of who Wike is, what's your take?
Well, I think right now the situation on ground is very dicey for Fubara. Fubara, one of the mistakes I think Fubara did was he wouldn't have started a fight that he knows he won't win, And if he started the fight, because this is politics, we must not bring emotions here. We've seen Wike also display. We have to tell ourselves the truth here. What goes around comes around. Politics is a game that, especially Nigerian politics, is one that after a while, everybody will come to know how it is being played and they will follow it. Just like the high-handedness we are seeing right now in this administration. You expect the new administration, when they come on board, not to do it. Of course, except it's a kind-hearted man that will come in. The other new guy, we will see a situation whereby he will be suspending governors and nothing will happen. You understand? Because you're suspending, this one are suspended and nothing happened. So that's going to be the situation in the nearest future. So whatever emotions Wike is trying to mop for himself, giving analogies, giving examples and all of that, let's also look at this from the perspective of those who have a story to tell about Wike's betrayal. We've seen the likes of Odile. We've seen the likes of Jonathan. Mention them. They are countless. Rotimi and Mechi. Mention them. There are so many. In his own case, he was victorious at the end of the day. He fought, conquer, and, step ahead of them just like that. But the problem, the case of Fubara was that Fubara did the political thing. Disloyalty is a normal thing in politics, because everybody looks at interest. There's no permanent friend, no permanent enemies. Wike has even said it. What is permanent is actually the interest. He looks at it and see that Wike is trying to strip him of who he should be as a governor. They say, yeah, there was an agreement, but my eye don't open. I don't interfere. I don't see how this thing is. So if I've seen how this thing goes, I have to also take a stand. That was why the agreement we had wasn't favorable to me. So I have to take a stand, and that was exactly so. Wike now coming to begin to mop up sentiment, begin to show emotional side of him where he cries, this is a boy that I raised. How about Jonathan? Can you allow Jonathan also to come and say his own story? Rotimi and Mechi, who is today being lambasted left, right, center, being considered to be one who is so hungry for power and all of that. Can you allow him to also tell his story? How you, from the normal guy you were just a chief of staff or so, to him, and then he supported you, all of them support you, became a governor, what had ended up, such that I can't even enter into Rivers State again, allow them also to tell their stories, and you know that, come on, this thing is do me, I do, you got no go vex. That's the situation.
But one last question. Do you think Fubara has a chance? Based on what Wike has said, do you think truly Wike will forgive him and give him another chance? Do you even think he'll be reconsidered back to get back his seat? And do you think 2027 Fubara has a chance of even contesting with Wike under his watch?
Well, Fubara has a chance because he's a Nigerian to contest for the next election. And he has even greater chance. The problem is that Fubara does not know who he is. That's all I could say. Fubara does not know who he is. He doesn't know that at a particular point, he wrapped the entirety of Rivers State. The people love him genuinely. Why? Because he was very careful to do the things that Wike could not do to the people of Rivers State. Wike was a man of project. Wike was an infrastructural guy and all of that. But this guy was very close to the people. Close to a point whereby at the end of the year, he will give each of them 100,000. Do you know what 100,000 naira is? Something that you did not see. He had to, clean up a lot of things, promoted people and all of that. He had the support of people, but at one point, he really, really did not get it right. And what was that point? That point that when he came out and began to say things that people were like, did I go wrong to support this guy? And you were making this statement on illegality. Come on, let's try to be very, very clear here. What the president did was illegal. That's why Supreme Court is delaying till now. Yes, he was trying to save the face of according to Wike and Fubara. Now he was trying to save me from not being impeached and all of that. But come on, let's tell ourselves the truth. We know the process of impeachment. At the end of the day, the government, the chief, the number one justice man in the state was going to be given, the AGF would have been, of the state, would have been given an opportunity to select 10 men who are not neither politicians or involved in anything politics, and they will sit on the cases that were brought before them. Do you think that Fubara was doing bad with any of the traditional rulers that will be brought in to decide on his case? Do you think that they would decide against Fubara? Of course, no, they wouldn't have decided against Fubara, because they were the people that would have climaxed that whole thing. They had their own part to play. Those other people have their own part to play. So it would have been a case that would have been dragged as long as possible. So trying to, at the point where this thing has happened, you are trying to legitimize illegality. Come on, clearly, my take on this situation is, Fubara, wake up. If you want to run for 2027, wake up and get a political party. Don't disclose it at first. If, for example, these guys are talking about the issue of floating a political party, the likes of Atiku Abubakar and the rest, they're talking about floating a political party. Jump into that political party. The likes of the obedience and all of that will be part of it. Then, with the support you have in Rivers State, you will win clear. The only thing is that you need to have structure on ground that will fighting to defend and to stand. ABC is not overall, whether we like it or not. They're just trying to pretend here.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take? Have a nice time.